this moving. It's Young People Nation.
Welcome to Young People Nation. Listen to us weekly as we commit to bring transparency, healing, and truth to the everyday situations in life that might bring you down. Join us for your weekly dose of inspiration. Thank you for listening to Young People Nation. Make sure you subscribe so you never miss an episode. And now, here's your host, Eugene and Donna Perry.
Let's go. Christ is the foundation. Know his word gon' lead us. Know I'm already going. Taking steps I believe in. Giving guidance to the youth. Giving guidance to the lost. Giving the world to the project. Lead them back to the cross.
Welcome back to session 2 with the Perrys of
Already?
Young People Nation.
Wow.
Yes. Young People Nation. And we're just conversating some things that we talk about often, some things we have experienced. And so we hope that this podcast is able to be a blessing to the community and the people that listen. Our movement is that God has many ways of helping us. So be fine with the way he helps you. Long as it's not nothing, God will never tell you to do nothing that's going to put someone else in danger. However, if you're the person that can read the scripture, the word of God, get delivered, kudos. If he tell you to go to a counselor, kudos. If he tell you that you need to go to a clinician, or you need to go to the doctor so you can get the proper diagnosis, kudos. However he gives you for you to be free and live a healthy life, be fine with the methods he used to help you. So, Mr. Perry, in this session, we've been married for 40 years, going to 41 this year.
Yep.
So we've been part of movements that serve. We've been part of, along our journey, we've been part of movements that serve. And of course, thank you for your service to the country. Thank you for serving me and your family. You have the heart of a servant. And I'm not saying that just because we are sitting here. I'm saying this because it's true. So, being part of a movement that served. Now, I remember in the 90s, you were part of a group of men called Men Making a Difference. Talk about that and what y'all did in the community. And even though we saw it on the website, we looked it up and it was still out there on the website. And so, but you used to be going a lot on Saturdays with a group of men making a difference in the community. So talk about some of your experiences with that.
Well, Men Making a Difference was a brainstorming of Mr. Willie Battle.
Mm-hmm.
He was a warrant officer, retired warrant officer there at Fort Gordon.
Mm-hmm.
And they even named the award after him, the Willie Battle Award.
Mm-hmm.
And he was an excellent brother in Christ. And he was able to connect with people. He had a way of... if you just walking along, you say, hey, come here a minute. And then next thing you know, you over there building on a house or helping this person out, trying to make a difference in the community.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what Men Making a Difference was. Men coming together, making a difference in the neighborhood
Mm-hmm.
and projecting brotherhood to everyone you meet. And we did the Habitat of America. We helped build houses. We helped schools by buying supplies,
Mm-hmm.
coming in and being monitors at lunch,
Yes.
at lunchtime to help the teachers out, and then go back to your regular job. It was a rotating thing, and it really made you feel part of the neighborhood and making that difference in other people's lives. You got to see other kids. You got to see people in trial. But down the bottom, we used to go down there a lot. They help people clean up parking lots, clean up parks, all kinds of different things. We used to have fundraisers to go out there and help churches and in many aspects to come a difference in the life of others.
Yes.
I remember elderly couples. We used to come in and repair their houses and all. They actually had boards falling off. We'd get up and nail them together. help them out with wiring of the house so they have light at night, or buy things that you would take for granted. Just like toilet paper and eating utensils. You take those for granted, but when you ain't got it, it's a serious
Yes.
it's a serious
Yes.
circumstance there.
Yes.
And we did make a difference. The little kids in school, we used to come in there and help them out with pencil, paper, notebooks, backpacks, and all. 'Cause every school have a need. The teachers goes out with the little bit of money they got there after to buy supplies for school. And they should never have to do that, because we have a government that's supposed to supply all these things, but your local schools don't have that support. You had kids out of control. We'll come in and help mentor them. It was a broad mission.
Yes.
And it was overwhelming too, because there wasn't enough of us for everybody. Everybody across the board.
It was a great need, and Mr. Battle, who
Yes.
I had the pleasure of meeting, and a lot of the brothers that you served with in that movement. It was just such a great need, and he wanted to reach everybody, and he wanted to help everybody, but that was impossible.
Yes.
Because of what portion God graced him to have. And so I remember you, though, going out and coming back. And, I didn't have a problem with that, because I'm going to say this. You made sure home was taken care of before you went to do that. And so when home is taken care of, you can go, and we're going to talk about this later about marriage. But you made sure home was taken care of. And then you went and did that service to serve the community. And so I remember also how even with Faith Outreach Church, which is where our pastors, Richard and Janice Peoples, when they first started, and you went down there and helped pastor along with other men to break ground. And so, and this is what God called us to, is to serve and to help one another. It's like, I like what Dr. Drumgold is doing, the Bridge Builder community,
Yes.
where he is creating a place for children that are outsourced in the community, that now they're going to be on the street if they don't get the proper direction. And so when we went recently, and we used to take our girls to the shelters
Yes.
during Christmas and Thanksgiving, and teaching them about the importance of serving. So recently, when we went to Golden Harvest with my job to serve, and just seeing people come in that need help, that is so humbling. I know for me, it's very humbling. It's humbling to see a mother with her children, and they live on the street. However, Golden Harvest, they're open, talking to the gentleman that was leading that day, that they're open 24/7.
Yeah, the big difference about programs like that, you see them on TV, but once you're there doing and participating in it, you look at life different. You look at life different. You experience life on the real. Because people don't grow up to live on the street.
That's right.
And they don't grow up to go hungry, and they don't grow up through life being needy like that. They fell on some circumstances that caused them to fall from grace. And you never know what hell a person go home to every day. And with that, I'm saying this: we as men have to create an atmosphere in the home that you would want to come home to. And I used to know guys that used to, in 82nd, used to jump out of planes just to have enough money just to buy a can of beer, because they ain't had no extra money or a pack of cigarettes to get rid of the deal with stress. And nobody wanted to come home to quarreling or arguments when you come home. I even do guys put themselves on deployment. Go.
And now you're going on the marriage thing. Okay. So I remember you sharing those stories.
Mm-hmm.
And so I want to touch back with the Golden Harvest. There was one gentleman that was there that used to play professional baseball.
Mm-hmm.
And just to let you know that everybody on the street is like what you said, they didn't aim to be on the street, but the story behind this gentleman was that he got hurt,
Mm-hmm.
and then mentally the medication, it took him somewhere. And even though his father would come and this is the story we were told. This is not from the actual gentleman. However, but that his father would come and make sure he's okay, wanted him to come home to a nice warm place, but mentally, he found it better for him to be on the street. So going back to serving and serving in the capacity that God graced you to serve. Now, no one can make him come off the street. However, but giving him a warm meal, something to drink, that's giving your portion of what you're graced to give. And I'm going to tell you, people, the gentleman that was cooking for them, I mean, this guy's heart is into cooking.
Mm-hmm.
And so he cooked amazing meals.
Yes.
That day. That was probably my second time meeting him, but he cooks. He genuinely cooks. And so that means he put love into what he's doing. So when we're serving, we come from a place of love, that, I'm not going to give someone something I wouldn't eat.
Right.
And so I want to ask you this as well, because you have been out there serving when you was at Youth Challenge. I saw the pictures. I saw you in the newspaper, and we still got that clip of the two young men hugging you at graduation. And I even saw you take brand new tennis shoes from our house to make sure that child had clothing. Did you find yourself in a parental role sometimes with those young men?
Well, you are the example out there of what an adult supposed to be to a kid. And the kids are looking for someone to love them, someone to guide them. It's not that they grow up to be gangbangers or be violent in school. They're looking for love. Just someone to love them. Because it got to the point where if you cuss them out, they say, you care about me.
That's bad.
You love me. And they cling to you more than their own parents. But everybody isn't meant to be a parent. Everybody's not meant to be a parent. They have a lady came out there with her son and dropped them off. And she was on her way to go on a cruise.
Wow.
And the only reason she dropped him off like that she was on her way to going to the port. And he was running down behind the car. Don't leave me, mama.
Wow. Wow.
And she said, I'm gonna get him some mama time, me time. And let's drop the kid off. And we went and grabbed the kid, brought him back, and got him acclimated to Youth Challenge. And from there he grew up to be able to get his GED and move on. But parents, when you go out there to experience life, anybody make mistakes, and you go out and have a child out of wedlock and all because you're looking for love. But the thing is about it is, once that child is here, there is an experience. You have a life that you have to 24 hours a day govern over. Just like God governed over us 24 hours a day. And there's no breaks in between. That's the consequences that you have when you get ready to have children. Your everyday going to the club and doing this, doing that, and being out with the felt, all that ends. So you need to think about that before you lay down or go and venture and have a kid together. Is this person the one that you want to be with the rest of your life?
I want to go back a little bit with Youth Challenge as well, that some of the reward of some of the children writing you letters thanking you for caring.
Oh yeah, I used
that is powerful.
Well, I used to tell them, get your chicken nuggets over here.
Gosh.
And they'll look at me and say, what chicken nuggets? I say, yeah, get your chicken nuggets because that's the only thing you own is your little chicken nuggets. And get on over here and do what's right. Because the thing is about it is you have to get their attention, and a lot of them have mental issues. And that's the part that was so much challenging. We had kids coming off drugs. We had kids have schizophrenia and different drugs they had to take every day. And it was a challenge to have 40 of those type kids. You couldn't be a father or adult figure to each one 24 hours a day. It wasn't enough for you to go around. And the biggest challenge is not to come up short.
Okay.
In a kid's life. And I know I was able to steer quite a number of kids in the right direction that other cadres did. And they wound up graduating, going into the military and making a life for themselves.
Awesome.
And staying out of jail.
Yes.
Because it's life beyond prison.
Yes.
And just because you did go to jail don't mean life stops. Eventually you're going to get out. And once you get out, you don't want to go back. And doing stupid stuff or hanging out with the cool kids, as you say, can get you in trouble. You have to do the right thing 24 hours a day.
Well, you're not gonna be able to do the right thing 24 hours a day. That's not possible. Cause I'm gonna stop you on that one, okay? Because that you have to be intentional with your life, but you cannot do the right thing. That's an unrealistic expectation.
Well, I say 16 hours a day because other part you got to go sleep.
Well, look, you got a lot of repentance in between. Let's be real transparent because we're not perfect like that. However, but we have to make sure that we're very intentional with our decisions. And let's be honest, at this gesture in our life, we can say certain things, but when we was those young people, for me, it was fun, having fun. I didn't have a care in the world. So we have to remember where God brought us from. If it had not been for the grace of God, what we're seeing sometimes could have been us. And so we have to be very mindful of that in this stage of our life. Don't ever forget how far God has brought us. And we didn't do everything right. We did not. Nope. I can talk about me. I know, looking in the camera, I did not. I did a whole lot wrong. And a lot of things I did, my parents did not teach me that. That was just decisions. It was, it looked like it was fun because everybody was doing it. But I'm very grateful to God for a praying mother, a father who would tell me no. I didn't understand it then, but I get it now. And so, and sisters and brothers that held me accountable. And so that's where we have to show a lot of grace when it comes to our young people, because they are dealing with mental issues. That's part of this podcast. They are really, really struggling. And we're going to talk about in our next podcast about how far we've come with mental health, because just recently, you keep hearing about children killing themselves. And so as young as 11 years old. So, being part of a movement to serve, everyone should serve in the capacity God graced you to serve. And that's all you can do, and be cool with that. So when that last statement you made about making decisions, that comes from the first recording about understanding the importance of knowing who you are. I believe once we get to know, wait a minute, I am designed for this. There's certain things you're not going to do. That's like how you shared that with me. There's certain things you're just set on that you're not going to do with the help of God. I always put that in there because we're nothing outside of God.
Well, God can put a bandage over the wound, and so you can begin healing. Because if you keep bleeding out in the same direction, you'll never heal. And with the strength of God and having faith that you can have something better than living in chaos, because everybody don't come from an organized home. Organized home or organized circumstances, or people breaking in, taking stuff, or stealing, or being raised in a dope house. Everybody doesn't have the same experience to life. And life is cruel. It's not going to stop. It's not going to stop just because you fell in the mud. Everything going to keep going on until you get up.
Yes.
And the only one out of that is going to be affected is you. And it's going to seem like people don't care. It's going to seem like life isn't fair because it isn't fair. And a person looking for some kind of relief. See, they made a terrible statement one time that suicide is an act of cruelty and selfishness. No, it's not. What it is a tormented mind looking for relief. And the only relief you think you're gonna have is to end it. But I assure you, once you end your life, life doesn't stop. Energy does not be destroyed. It keeps going on. It's like a kinetic energy. It's just keep moving and moving. You just move to another level. And with that, no matter what religion you come from, death is not the end. It's not the relief that you're looking for. What you need to do while you're still living and able to still make a difference, not only in your life, but others, is a turning point in your life that's either you're going to be the example or the statistic. I'd rather be an example than being a statistic.
You know what? And what I'm going to do, I'm going to give out the mental health hotline because you just gave your ending. Hey, we did it backwards this time. But okay, well, we're ending this session too, because we need to end right there. I love that. Right there with all that came with that. I love that. So if you're in need of help, there are several sources out there, and we're going to give them. There's a 988 hotline. There's a text 741-741. That's free 24/7. There's the NAMI, NAMI, the National Alliance on Mental Illness, and you can go to their website and look at the state that you live in to get the help you need. There's the general number 211, that's 24/7. There's the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. That number is 800-273-8255. And please do not suffer in silence. Call 911 if you cannot remember any of this. Back to you, Mr. Perry.
When you go to that mirror and you look in that mirror, say, I am somebody and I am worth the time, the effort to be the person that I am meant to be. And I can get there through faith, help. And don't give up. Whatever you do, don't give up. This has been Young People Nation. And remember, there is always hope.
Christ is the foundation. Know his word gon' lead us. Know I'm already going. Taking steps I believe in. Giving guidance to the youth. Giving guidance to the lost. Give the world to the project. Lead them back to the cross. He the number one prospect. He the top boss. I was broke, I was empty. He the one that paid the cost. Really thought that I was cool. There was nothing like the savior. Now it's time for the truth. The whole world been waiting. It's Young People Nation. 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 The whole world been waiting. Whatever you going through, I know what he gonna do. Don't matter the circumstance, we going back to the root. Keep going, keep going. Let that seed keep growing. You need peace and we know it. Now it's time to live holy. Young People Nation. You know what time it is. Young People Nation. Get ready, the time is here. Get ready, we vibing here. We about to let God in here. Young People Nation. It's Young People Nation. Yeah, do it for the heavens, you know where we going. Influenced by his love, you know we gotta show it. It's time to put the youth onto what God is doing. Cause I can tell you now, right now, that God is moving. It's Young People Nation.